topic this evening is you can't be all things to all people. One of the biggest problems when you're starting a business as an enterprise is there's a certain thought that you should go after everyone. Everyone's your customer and everyone should be treated the same. And actually, I totally and wholeheartedly disagree with that nonsense. You can't be all things to all people. Trying to do that is the quickest path to failure. And the reason I know this is years ago, my first business, I tried that stuff. Everyone was a customer, giving everyone equal time. And only after having certain jobs and really learning how to conduct the sales process and how to identify a lead, a target, it made a world of difference because all people are not the same. All customers are not the same. And to treat each person with that same level of care of attention can actually bankrupt you. So one of the things that you should do if you're starting a business is really identify who is your customer. What person is really going to like your product, and focus on that person with an intensity that would make a laser jealous, because you're not going to get every sale. Everyone's not going to like you. Everyone's not going to be happy with you. Matter of fact, if you're really doing things right, you're going to piss off a lot of people. And then you're going, wait. Why would you piss off people? One of the things about competition is everyone's not competitive. There are some people that have gotten themselves in a very nice situation, and then when someone comes along and creates competition, oh snap, we have problems and consequences and complications. We need to throw out the bathwater and the baby because things are just not the way that they were. Understand, if you want to be an enterprising individual in whatever endeavor that you want, know that focus is better than diffusion. Unless you're selling perfume or something. That's an inside joke. But the deal is, many people have a twisted notion on what will make you successful. When I started my first YouTube channel, Glendon007, I got email after email after email about this thing right here, right? Yeah, that. The mouth. You cuss too much. You shouldn't use those words. You need to stop cussing. If you don't stop cussing, I am not going to listen to you anymore. And I had my big boy pants on, and I was like, okay, that's the reality. I'm not for everyone. Nor should I be. And that was in 2009. That was when it took me 3 to 4 months to get 100 subscribers. Yeah, that's how slow it was going. 3 to 4 months to get 100 subscribers. And most of the videos in the early days did 100, 150 views in a month. Yet, I didn't change. If you go back to the earlier videos in 2009, the first one being August 6th, I have continued to be me, and for one fundamental reason. And this is something that I really want you to take close to heart. When I worked certain jobs, I could not be myself. It was a problem. It was a situation. It always came up in performance reviews. Your job, on the job, you're great. You show up on time, you're efficient, you actually do more work than other people. But if you could just play well in the sandbox, and I was like, okay. And I would play well in the sandbox, and there was just this gnawing on the inside of me that I didn't want to be in that sandbox. And one day I realized I needed to build my own sandbox. My own sandbox where I created my own rules and was able to be me. And that's what you get on this YouTube channel. I understand there's some people who are going to hear this and they're just going to unsubscribe, and I'm not even going to be mean to you because that's your choice. Just like it's my choice to be me, just like it's my choice to use profanity when the mood strikes me, because if you notice, there are several videos where I don't cuss once because it's just not that type of day. But if I feel like saying fuck, I'm going to say fuck. If I feel like saying shit, shit's going to come out. That's the way it is. And it's been that level of authenticity that's gotten me where I'm at today. Because for my niche, I'm pretty successful. And it's not because I'm the greatest and everything. It's because I was first. I was the first one to put up that many storage auction videos, and I was the first one to keep doing it month after month, year after year. No one else has as many because they didn't, I'm not going to get into that. But I'm just going to say, look, if you want to have your own business, your own enterprise, one of the golden nuggets is you could create an environment that suits you. Part of that is if you don't feel like driving an hour to go to work, you create your own business. Your corporate headquarters could be a block down the street, or they could be in your basement. They could be wherever you want them to be because that's your choice. That is the beauty about doing your own thing. Sure, there are long hours. Sure, you're dealing with crazy people, but you have choices. And that's one of the choices that I make. Because understand, I learned a long time ago, and this was an old Alabama saying that old folks used to tell me, everything is not for you. And I didn't really understand what that meant until I was much older. And the thing is, understand, I'm not mad if you don't watch these videos because it's your choice. But I'm not going to change. Understand that. And you should not change who you are. That is one of the reasons that we have so many problems. Everyone's trying to be like everyone else, which wouldn't be so bad if there was actually some people who were leading, but it's kind of like follow the follower. And then you just have people following another follower who's following someone else, except it's just this circle of nothingness. But that's the deal. Understand, everything's not for everyone. And if you're running your business, in the beginning, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be very, very challenging. It's going to be difficult because the, good advice, the proper way to do things is just to try to serve everyone. And I'm telling you, from years and years of experience, from years and years of dealing with customers, that's not the case. I'm going to tell you something, is many of you may agree and many of you may not, but my worst customers in my life from my first business up to now have been the ones who've gotten the best deals. I'm telling you, that it's like you give them a great deal, they want more. Then I've had people who've paid me $5,000 for my services, and I get letters of recommendations. I get praise. They're happy to talk to me. It's like, hey, what you did for our business is great. We're improving. And I'm just sitting there like, so the person that got the great deal of a lifetime is upset, yet this person who paid me a grip is happy as hell with me. So, just telling you, if you've been in business, you've been online business, you know what I'm talking about. If you've been a seller on eBay, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's the deal. So let that notion go. Understand there will be some short-term pain. Understand people will not like you for having the audacity to actually have standards for your customers. I know, because the customer's always right. No, they're not. Not in this day and age. Back in that day when people were more honest, had more integrity, that may have held sway. But today, everyone is an opportunist until proven otherwise.